everyone, welcome back to the Football Chuggu Podcast. My name is Thomas Durning, and today I am joined by my co-host, Pearse McLaughlin. Hello, Pearse.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm doing well. On the first podcast of 2024, we'll be discussing last weekend's English Premier League and also two sets of Scottish Premier League results. And at the end of the podcast, Pearse will be giving a rundown of all the latest Asian football news. So we'll start off with the English Premier League results from last weekend. So on Saturday, the 30th of December, the results finished Luton Town 2, Chelsea 3, Crystal Palace 3, Brentford 1, Manchester City 2, Sheffield United 0, Wolves 3, Everton 0, Aston Villa 3, Burnley 2, Nottingham Forest 2, Man United 0. On Sunday, the 31st of December, the results finished Fulham 2, Arsenal 1, Tottenham 3, AFC Bournemouth 1. And on Monday, the 1st of January, there was only one match, and that was Liverpool 4, Newcastle United 2. So, Pearse, which match from last weekend's results stands out to you the most?
For me, it's got to be the Nottingham Forest 2, Manchester United 1. Thought it's just typical Manchester United going away from home in the Premier League and struggling. We've been saying it on this podcast all season that Manchester United will win a game, lose a game. They don't really tend to draw too many games. And that seemed to be the case again. Like, they won a game and then they've lost. So I think they've got the second worst loss record in the Premier League this season. I think only one team has actually lost more games than Manchester United. And that is a damning statistic because they're meant to be the whole flying high at the top of the table, Manchester United, but that's just not the case. Like, there's so many players in that team that just don't perform. And you look at their forward players, they're just not performing at the moment. You look at players like Bruno Fernandes, Anthony, Rasmus Højlund, Marcus Rashford, they're just not firing all cylinders. And I thought it was a brilliant performance by Nottingham Forest. I thought, for me, the two standout players for me were Morgan Gibbs-White, who scored a brilliant winner, just a composed finish at the bottom left-hand corner, and former Manchester United player Anthony Elanga, who Manchester United could be ruin letting him go, because I think he's been a phenomenal player this season for Nottingham Forest, given that he's had an extended run in the team. He's getting matches to prove that he is a good player, because when he was given a chance under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Ralph Rangnick, I thought he was a pretty decent player. Isn't a world beater, but he's a good Premier League standard player, and he's quick. He creates chances.
He's just so fast, isn't he?
He's so fast, and he can play in a number of positions across the forward line. But no, I thought Manchester again were poor, and Nottingham Forest were just a better side on the day.
Yeah, I mean, I could say Man United, but to be honest with you, it doesn't really stand out to me because I'm not that surprised about it, to be honest with you. I'm going to go for the Fulham 2, Arsenal 1 result. You know, that's two results. That's two losses in a row now for Arsenal. You know, they've had a poor Christmas period. I think that's only 1-1-5 in the league now. And that's them kind of, but I mean, not like they're in the title race, but like they've Liverpool and, you know, teams like Liverpool, Man City have kind of extended our gap ahead of Arsenal. Because I was just thinking about Arsenal as well, like what the issue is. I just think that they're just too predictable. Like, you kind of know, like the way they build up their play in terms of attacking, you kind of know where the ball's going to go. You kind of know where it's going to end up, and like they're just not clinical in front of goal. Like, they've got a striker in Gabriel Jesus who just doesn't score enough goals. Martinelli and Saka, you know, they've actually done well in terms of their goal scoring record, but again, they're not clinical enough, and it's you know, it's costing them pretty badly. And you know, for Fulham as well, was because they weren't great. They weren't in great form getting into this as well, Fulham. So that was a brilliant result for them. So I just think in terms of the title race kind of demographic, I'd say the Fulham Arsenal result was quite a pretty significant one.
What do you think from with Arsenal then, Tom? Do you think they need to recruit in January? In what position do
I
you
do think that,
recruit?
yeah, I do. I was actually going to say that. I like they definitely need for me to get a striker, like a top striker. But I don't know if you're going to get one in January. Because no one's willing to sell in January, especially top strikers around Europe. You're going to be paying a lot of money, and I just don't see them getting that striker that they want in January. So it's definitely a striker for me that they need. They definitely need a striker. But it's where they can get that striker in January. Because I think if they did get that striker, like that was, had a great goal scoring record, I actually do like my thoughts of them winning the league would, I'd be pretty confident about it for Arsenal, but I just don't think they'll get that striker. And I think unfortunately because they don't have that striker, I just can't see them winning the league this season. So so just go back to what you said, definitely a striker. And I was just going to touch on just briefly the Wolves Everton result, which finished 3-0 Wolves. What a job Gary O'Neill's done. I think that's 3-4 wins in a row now for Wolves. They're quite comfortably in mid-table, and Wolves they've been really good. Under Gary O'Neill this season, he's done a brilliant job with them. Especially with the fact that the start of the season, Gary O'Neill only got appointed a couple of days before the season started. So yeah, so yeah, just so sorry about that, mate. My dad asked for tea, I don't know why. So what was I saying?
Neil.
So Guy Neal, yeah. So Guy Neal, yeah. Sorry, yeah, no. So just round it off, he's done a brilliant job. And I think Wolves will end up having a pretty good season. So, we'll now move on to last weekend's Scottish Premier League results. So, again, I'll quickly go through them. So, on Saturday, the 30th of December, the results were Celtic 2, Rangers 1, Motherwell 3, Livingston 1, Kilmarnock 2, Dundee 2, Hearts 2, Ross County 2, Aberdeen 0, St Mirren 3. And they were all the results from last weekend. So it was actually a really, really good Saturday day for football in the Scottish Premier League. But we've only got one place to start. We all know what game we're going to talk about, and that was the Celtic Rangers game, which finished 2-1 to Celtic. So we'll start off with you, Pearse. What do you think about that match? How do you think it finished? What was your thoughts about the game?
I thought the game was pretty much how I'd expect it to go. I didn't think both teams would keep a clean sheet. I thought it would be end to end. There'd be chances either side. And like I said, and we said it last week in the preview, that it's who's more clinical in both boxes in terms of the defensive shape and at the forward line. And that was the difference at the end of the day. I thought Celtic were just more clinical because Rangers did have chances, potentially more gilt edge chances, but when you've got someone like a Cyril Dessers up front or an Abdullah Sima, a young Ross McLaughlin, I thought he was the most dangerous one out of the three. But I thought for Dessers, he was a bomb scare. I thought he was just taking far too long. He was doing the right things, but then he was also doing the wrong things. And then when you've got someone like Kyogo Furuhashi up front for Celtic, regardless of his form in recent weeks, in this fixture he turns up and he produces the goods, and that the winning goal at the start of the second half was sensational. It's probably one of the best goals I've seen in an Old Firm game. Probably going back to Shinsuke Nakamura back all those years ago in 2007. It was unbelievable technique, and to beat a goalkeeper the caliber of Jack Butland, it takes something special. But no, I thought it was a massive victory for Celtic because it gives them that little gap now, regardless if Rangers win their 2 games in hand, they'll still have a 2-point lead. Yes, so I just feel as if Celtic thoroughly deserved their victory in the end because they were just clinical in terms of the offensive shape, and both sides were quite resolute defensively, but it was just that fine margins that got the victory for Celtic, and obviously there was some debatable decisions that the referee and VAR didn't pick up. But it was quite a feisty game to say the least, and the fallout from the game was quite exciting to see, because it just shows you how much this game means to fans of both sets. And I thought it was a brilliant game. Yeah.
I as you said, it was kind of the game I expected the way it kind of went. Both teams had their moments. Rangers had a good spell in the first half, and I did think throughout the full match, I think Celtic were in better control of the match. I think they had better chances. But it was. I mean, at the end of the day, I did think Celtic deserved to win. They were more, as you said, they were more clinical. Rangers, as you were saying, talking about Dessers there. It was definitely one goal chance he had where he was through on goal, and I don't know what happened. He just kind of stopped, and the Celtic defender managed to get back and clear it. So like things like that, Celtic were just much more clinical. Talk about Kyogo's the second goal for Celtic. Kyogo's goal was just outstanding. To get out his feet and hit it on his left foot, and right in the top corner, it was brilliant technique, and it definitely be a goal that you'll talk about in years to come in terms of these famous old Glasgow Derby goals. But yeah, a really good result for Celtic. A very important one as well, because I think if Rangers had won that, the advantage would really be with Rangers in terms of the league title. Because Rangers have still got 2 games in hand over Celtic. So Celtic had to win that, and they did. And I think at the end of the day, they did just deserve it. And yeah, I was going to say as well that I don't think as well that you can take much in terms of answers. You could say about where league title is going to go at the end of the season. There's still a lot of football to be played. There's still 2 more derbies to be played as well. So far too early to call in terms of who's going to win the title, but definitely a good result for Celtic. And yeah, fully deserved at the end of the day. Was there any other results from last Saturday that stood out to you?
Yeah, I was going to suggest the Ross County, the Hearts 2, Ross County 2, because some of the football that Ross County played at Tynecastle was unbelievable. That they had a 2-0 lead, and a few guilty chances. There's one in particular in the first half that Simon Murray, one with the goalkeeper, couldn't hit the ball at his feet, and he tried it outside of the foot and just hit it straight at Xander Clark. And for me, that would have made it 3-0. And that was the chance that they would come back to haunt them, because Hearts made changes in the second half. Substitute Vargas comes on, makes an impact, scores, and then the chance just falls to the man that's getting talked about every week. He seems to be scoring every week, and that's Lawrence Shankland. The most composed, silky finish I've seen. He just takes a touch. It doesn't even put any power on it whatsoever, and just passes into the corner, and the goalkeeper could just watch it because the placement is just perfect. But no, I thought Hearts were lucky, but when you've got someone like Shankland, he can dig out a hole even if you're not playing at your best. And I thought Ross County can take some plaudits for their performance, because I thought they played some scintillating stuff at times. And Derek Adams, I think that's his best performance for Ross County since he's returned. And also not easy going to Tynecastle for any team. But to take a point, he probably did bit your hand off before kick-off. But the fact is, the manner they got the point, he'd been thoroughly disappointed. But no, that was the other match that stood out for me in the Scottish Premiership.
Yeah, that was a really good game as well. Very entertaining as well. I could have picked that one. I was thinking about that, but for me, it was Aberdeen 0, St Mirren 3. St Mirren went to Petrordan and won 3-0. I wasn't surprised, but I was surprised at the result in terms of the fact that it finished 3-0. You don't really see Aberdeen losing 3-0 a lot at home. They are quite strong at home. If they were to lose, they don't lose by that much. So I was quite surprised at that. It kind of stood out to me. We'll talk about we've got another set of results to talk about, and we'll talk about that just very shortly. But a result like that puts Barry Robson under pressure. They've not had a great start to the season at all. In terms of the league, they've done well in Europe and they've done well getting to the final of the League Cup. But in terms of the league, they haven't started well. And a result like that puts pressure on you. If you're not winning games, you're going to be under pressure. So that definitely was the match that stood out to me the most. And also just a quick shout out about the Motherwell Livingston result, which finished 3-1 to Motherwell. I think that was Motherwell's first win in quite a while. So they would be pretty happy about that, the fact that they finally got back to winning ways. So we'll move on to yesterday's Scottish Premier League results. So these are the last fixtures played in the Scottish Premier League because we now have the winter break. So the winter break will last around about 3 weeks. So the results yesterday finished Hibs 2, Motherwell 2, Livingston 1, Hearts 2, Rangers 3, Kilmarnock 1, Ross County 0, Aberdeen 3, and St Mirren 0, Celtic 3. So, once again, Pearse, is there a match there that stands out to you?
Yeah, so I'm going to go with this Mirren 0, Celtic 3. To start off, I think there's a few games I'm going to mention, but that's the first one for me. Thought obviously getting the win versus Rangers in the Glasgow Derby, you've got to follow that up by going to a pretty tough venue in recent years for Celtic. Because obviously even under Ange Postecoglou they've suffered defeat a few times, a couple of draws. So it's never an easy time to go to play Stephen Robinson's side. But I thought they got off to a perfect start under a minute. Dyser Maida scores, and then 5 minutes later they've got the second goal through Matt O'Reilly. And I think that really kind of set the game because from then on it was just total domination from Celtic, and they could and should have scored a lot more goals. St Mirren did go down to 10 men, and then after that it was two banks of five and just defend for their lives. And Celtic managed to get a third in the second half through Greg Taylor, but the game was done in the first 10 minutes, and I thought it was a fully emphatic performance, backing up their derby win. And also, I'd like to mention obviously Rangers beating Kilmarnock 3-1 at home, so they followed up the defeat at the weekend to Celtic by making sure they don't drop any more points, and keep their title race well and truly alive. They get 3-1 win. It's and obviously a monumental statistic that just happened. Rangers now finally conceded a penalty after 75 league games. That is nearly 2 full seasons, and that is a damning statistic for any side to have, and it was nearly a world record. So even Derek McInnes after the game was shocked to even get a penalty at Ibrox. That's how bad it is. But no, finally they've conceded a penalty. But it didn't mean anything because Rangers had the game well and truly out of sight at the time anyway. So, and the final game for me would be the Aberdeen 3, Ross County 0. Up in Dingwall, we mentioned obviously did a fantastic performance about Tynecastle, but it couldn't have gone any worse at home. I thought they were well and truly outclassed by Aberdeen, who themselves were on the receiving end of a 3-0 drubbing at home. They then go away from home and get a 3-0 win against Ross County, which is going to do Barry Olsen the world of good. And he got the reaction he wanted, and I thought the standout player for me was Jamie McGrath, got a double. Him and Miovski linked up really well, and no, they thoroughly deserved a win, and it could have and should have been more. So the other three standout fixtures for me in the SPL this second fixtures.
Yeah, for me it's kind of only one, to be fair, that stands out to me, and that's Ross County 0, Aberdeen 3. And it was just basically following on from what I was talking about a few minutes ago. It was a really bad result for Aberdeen on Saturday, where they got beat 3-0 for St Mirren. And I wasn't going to, I mean, to be honest with you, I felt if Aberdeen had lost that match, I would have really, really worried for Barry Robson's job, just because of the fact that we're now in a winter break. So, like, it's time to think about big decisions and stuff going into the second half of the season. So for Aberdeen to win that 3-0 by Robson, that takes the pressure right off him. That was a really, really massive result. And the fact that they went to Dingwall as well and won 3-0 as well. So that was a really big result for me. That stood out to me the most. And then just quickly briefly about the Hibs Motherwell match, the fact that ended 2-2. Motherwell building on the victory from Saturday where they won 3-1. And they probably should have won that, but Hibs scored in the last minute with Eli Yuan. So Motherwell were just about lost 2 points in the last kind of minute of the game. So so my standout match from yesterday's Scottish Premier League results was Ross County 0, Aberdeen 3. So for the final part of the show, Pearse will now give his Asian football roundup.
Yeah, so I've got a lot to go through today. So in terms of Asian football news, South Korea have released their Asian Cup squad. So they've picked 3 goalkeepers in Kim Sung-gyu, Jo Hyun-woo, Song Byung-kun. And they've the defenders have picked Kim Yong-gwon, who was the Player of the Year in the K-League 1 for Ulsan Hyundai. Kim Min-Jae, Jung Sang-hyun, Kim Joo-sung, Kim Ji-soo, So Young-woo, Kim Tae-wan, Lee Ki-ji, Kim Jin-soo. Midfielders they've gone with Park Young-woo, Hwang In-bom, Park Jin-sub, Hong Hyuk-sok, Lee Sun-min, Lee Jae-sung, Son Hyun-min, Lee Kang-in, Jong Woo-young, Yang Hyun-jun of Celtic, Hwang Yi-chan of Wolves, Moon Son-win, and then the 2 forwards have gone with Cho Gu-sung and Oh Young-go. So they've got the 3 matches. So they're in Group E alongside Bahrain, Jordan, and Malaysia. And they kick off the first match on Monday, the 15th of January. And that'll be a 9:30 kickoff. And then the second matches, there'll be the away side against Jordan, and that'll be also a 9:30 kickoff. And then the third and final group game will be hosting Malaysia at 9:30 kickoff on the 24th of January. So Japan have also released a squad in terms of the Asian Cup. So we've got with 3 goalkeepers: Daya Meikawa, Zion Suzuki, Taishi Brandon Nozawa, and then the defenders are going with Shogo Taniguchi, Kota Takura, who's hotly tipped to leave Schalke. He's tracked by a lot of clubs, including Liverpool. To Tosuyushi Watanabe, Yuta Nakayama, Koki Machida, Saya Maikuma, Takehiro Tomiyasu, Hiroki Ito, Yokinari Sugawara, and then midfielders have gone with Wataru Endo, Junior Ito, Takuma Asano, Hidemasa Morita, Koro Matoma, who is injured, but potentially he would return for the third and final group game, because he's only out for a matter of weeks because he just pulled his hamstring, I think it was. Ryo Hatate, who just came back from injury against St Mirren, and he's been called up to the Japan squad. Takefusa Kubo, Richard Doan, and then for the forwards, we went with Daiser Maeda, Ayase Ueda, Keita Nakamura, Kashi Sano, and Mao Hosayo. And obviously the glaring exclusion in that Japan squad is Kyogo Furuhashi, which is a pretty shocking exclusion considering he's been in recent squads, and I think pulling out of the last squad because he suffered a pretty serious head knock against Aberdeen, where he was knocked unconscious, and they had to pull out the latest squad back in November. And obviously his form this season hasn't been the greatest, but you did see in the big games he performs in the Champions League, scored against Atletico Madrid and Lazio, and also scored against Rangers at the last weekend. So Japan are in Group D alongside Vietnam, Iraq, and Indonesia. So the first game they kick off is a home side on a Sunday, the 14th of January, and they'll host Vietnam, and that'll be a 9:30 kickoff. And then the second fixture will be Friday, the 19th of January, will be a away side to Iraq, and that'll also be a 9:30 kickoff. In the third and final group stage game will be hosting Japan versus Indonesia on Wednesday, the 24th of January. And all those times for Japan and Korea will be in Korean Southern Time, so my time. So another bit of breaking news. Socceroos legend Harry Kewell is the new Yokohama F. Mariners head coach. After leaving his role as first-team coach at Celtic FC, he replaced his fellow Aussie Kevin Muscat and is now the third straight Australian to lead the J League One club. The AFC Champions League last 16 draw in the East is set. So Jumbuk Hyundai Motors will play Huang Steelers of both K-League One sides. Shandong Taishan of the CSL, so Chinese Super League, will play Kawasaki Frontale of the J-League One. And then you've got Bangkok United of the Thai Premier League, who will play Yokohama F. Mariners of the J-League One. And then Ulsan Hyundai of K-League One will play Ventforet Kofo of the J-League Two. So the champions of K-League One will play the Japanese second division side. So this is a two-legged affair with first leg set to take place on the 12th of February and the return leg will be on the 19th of February, a week later. So no kick-off times for either leg has been set yet, but some interesting ties that will be fascinating matches to watch. So Korean national team and PSG superstar Lee Kang-in is reportedly in a relationship with K-pop star and actress Lee Na-Eun. So according to reports in Japan, Celtic reportedly interested in Kashiwa Racehorse breakout star striker Maya Hosaya. Due to his inclusion in the Japan squad for the Asian Cup, I feel this might not happen for Celtic, as they might wait until the summer. Hosaya's stock is certainly on the rise, and Celtic will have a fight on their hands if they do want to secure his signature. But one thing is for sure, and that is Hosoya is destined to leave Japan for Europe this year, whether it be January or in the summer transfer window. Watch this space. So the K-League 40th anniversary exhibition is being held at Times Square in Yeongdangpo, Seoul. You can see the history of the league, old uniforms, and past official match balls. Certainly worth a visit because it will be a sight to see of all the classic kits and just the history of the K-League. It's brilliant to see. So Kim Min-Jae has been voted as the Korean Player of the Year, ending Spurs and South Korea's captain Son Heung-min's 4-year winning streak of the award. Kim, 27, had a stellar year at both Napoli, helping win their first Scudetto in 33 years, and manning the back line for Bayern Munich, who are currently second in the Bundesliga, 4 points off Bayer Leverkusen with a game in hand, in what will be an exciting title race. Kim Min-Jae is the first defender to win this award since Kim Young-won back in 2015. Here's what Kim Min-Jae had to say after winning his award. It is an honour to win such an award. I will continue to put in hard work. I'd like to thank the fans who have stayed up late at night to cheer me on. This is the most special year of my life. I wonder if I'll ever receive a bigger honour than this in the rest of my career. I had a special season last year. I will try to replicate that performance in the new year. I've proven that defenders can win an award like this. I hope to see my fellow defenders play with more confidence going forward. So the KFA have also recognised top coaches in South Korean football. Kim Ji-dong, who led Hwang Steelers to the FA Cup title and a second place finish in the top flight K-League One, was named as the male coach of the year. And that's all your latest Asian football news.
Thank you, Pearse. And thank you everyone for listening to this episode of the Football Chuggu Podcast. This podcast will be available to listen to on the Football Chuggu YouTube channel and also the Football Chuggu website. Thanks for listening and see you soon.
Bye-bye.